lecturer, Madam Hana, and my fellow friends. My name is Puteri Syazwani Binti Yahya, and my matrix number is 272420. Alright, so for my informative speech today, I would like to talk about pedophilia. Okay, have you ever heard of infamous criminal Richard Huckle? Richard William Huckle is a British convicted pedophile who sexually abused especially Malaysian children, around 200 children between 2006 to 2014. On the 6th of June 2016, he was given 22 life sentence after pleading guilty to 71 counts of child sex offences. However, on the 13th of October 2019, Huckle was stabbed to death in his cell at HM Prison, Full Sutton, England.
Also today, Sky sources reveal notorious paedophile Richard Huckle has been stabbed to death in prison. Take a look at some other news. Today, events away from Westminster. One of Britain's most prolific paedophiles, Richard Huckle, has been found stabbed to death in his prison cell. Huckle received 22 life sentences back in 2016 for abusing up to 200 children in Malaysia.
An Australian author, Lauren Nilon, once said in her book named Breaking Free from the Chains of Silence, which is abuse is never deserved. It is an exploitation of innocence and physical disadvantage, which is perceived as an opportunity by the abuser. So, with the topic today, I am going to talk about the impact of pedophilia to the society. The main reason why I choose this topic because I want to tell how bad this pedophilia can affect a child. Thus, in my speech, I would like to highlight on the 3 impacts to the children, which are diseases, issues with anger, and the impact to the family. Okay, let's start with diseases. Firstly, pedophilia affects children especially through diseases. The main disease that we are talking about is sexually transmitted infection disease, or we call as STID. And what is STIDs? Okay, these sexually transmitted infection are the main of diseases that you can have if you had sex with someone who has an infection. These infections are normally passed from person to person through vaginal intercourse. There are 2 categories that can cause the STIDs. First is the viruses, and the second one is bacteria. For viruses, the example of the viruses that can cause the STIDs is hepatitis B, herpes, HIV, and the human papilloma virus, which is HPV. And for the bacteria, the example of the bacteria that can cause STIDs is chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis. If the children get this disease, basically it can affect their futures and their way of life. So these STIs may cause fatal to the patients who are late to get the treatment. Hence, it affects a lot to the children who aren't aware that they might have the disease. For an instance, the chlamydia can lead to complications that can cause women to have infertility, while the HPV can risk of having cancer of the cervix or penis. In addition, syphilis can cause the children to get paralysis, mental illness, heart damage, and even worse is death. Okay, other than that, apart from diseases, the children also will experience issues with anger. Secondly, the next impact of pedophilia to the children is they can get issues with anger. Sexual abuse to the children will make them to get affected psychologically and emotionally, especially for the anger emotions. The effects of the child abuse actually depends greatly on the child's age, gender, the type of abuse, who the offender, and the degree of the violence. Anger is a behavioral effect that affects differently with males and females. Their anger turns into blaming others or into destructive behavior against people and things. As for females, they might keep their anger, even turning it onto themselves. Then at some points, their anger can be turned into depression, while for males, they will let out their anger as they are behaved to be more aggressive in some situations. The pedophilia have wasted many lives of the children in terms of emotions other than anger. According to the New York Times, written by Norimisu Onishi, published on 31st March 2020, he told us a story about a pedophile victim named Francesca G, 62 years old from France. Francesca G was used since she was 15 years old in a traumatic relationship with 37 years old man named Gabriel Maznev until the man released a book which is Drunk on Lost Wine, or in French, Ivre de Vin Perdu, to justify pedophilia. She kept in silence for 44 years before she broke the wall and told the whole story about the man who openly wrote about engaged in sex with teenage girls and prepubescent boys for decades. This shows how the pedophile really affected her as a teenager. Down with the depression, I finally got the courage to tell the story publicly. Thus, this issue with anger may create an impact to the family. Lastly, the pedophilia also greatly impacts the family. The pedophilia that happened is not safe for the family members. This issue can affect the other siblings in the family, which is when one child is abused in the family by the offender, which maybe is the parents, it also is a threat to the other sibling. So, it is not only cause trauma to the victim, but also cause fear to the other siblings, and it might become worse for them. Hence, it will give bad effects in the family environment due to the family being dysfunctional. And also, this pedophilia can affect the social life of the family members. Due to this, the social life of everyone may be ruined because it leads to many issues such as school problems, loss of friends, loss of jobs, and many more.
Dia nak pergi mana ni sekarang?
As for an example, if people surrounding them know about their pedophilia issues as their past, people will be bringing up and being judgmental, and soon it will be talk of the town. Thus, the victim and the related family members will receive bad treatment from everyone and difficulties for them in living a normal life. How can the pedophilia can damage the generation of the family? It is possible because the whole family can be embarrassed because of one victim after the other relative find out. In addition, the family will experience bad life history due to the other impacts that I have stated before. So it will be hurtful for them as they also might have likelihood to live depression. From having these unwanted impacts to the children and the family, we must do prevention that promotes the harm pedophilia acts. What is the steps? Okay, the children should never be allowed in one-on-one situations with any adults other than their parents or trustworthy family members, or maybe at least is to having another adult as an observer that can provide some security for all concerned. Besides that, another way to prevent is through education. We must teach the children to avoid situations that make them vulnerable to pedophiles. They need to yell or run if they are faced with the unpleasant situation. In conclusion, we have seen how pedophilia gives impacts to the children by disease, issues with anger, and to the family. Now, we need just to come together and out an end to this pedophilia. I end my speech with a quote by Henry Ward Beecher: "Children are the hands by which we take hold of heaven." Thank you.
We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones to make a